be about body positivity and body image. So I tried to record this video yesterday and it didn't really happen, so I've tried to do it today instead. In case you heard that noise in the background, that's just me boiling the kettle to try and make myself a cup of tea, which I do like to have in the mornings. So I just wanted to have just a little one-on-one conversation about body image and about my feelings about my own body image and how that's been affected by a chronic illness. So you'll know, if you've seen my journey so far video, you know that I've been dealing with health issues for about 4 years now. They are very kind of related to the pelvic area, although I've had kind of muscle weakness, fatigue and a lot of other symptoms with them. The general area that it's focused on and that I need to kind of get investigated is the pelvic region, because I have gynae problems, I have bladder problems, I have bowel problems. I'm going to a women's health physio at the moment, I'm on medication, and I'm just trying to progress forward as much as I can. I actually have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to get more pain meds, and hopefully I can try and get him to refer me on for a colonoscopy or an endoscopy or some kind of oscopy or something to try and get me somewhere. So I'm probably going to refer to 3 or 4, maybe 5 key points about different areas of body image and different areas which I've been affected by. So the first one that I can think of is makeup and the amount of makeup that I wear. I recently have not been wearing makeup at all, or been wearing very, very little makeup, and that's because I don't have the energy to put it on pretty much. But there are other times when I probably could put it on if I really wanted to, but I don't think that I look that bad without makeup, and I don't feel like I should have to plaster makeup on my face just to please other people. I think it's a worrying thing that we have a lot of people in our society in general who have been kind of broken down by the system and just feel really unattractive. And I've known a lot of women kind of in their 40s and 50s who really have terrible self-esteem, are constantly talking about diets, are constantly putting themselves down, and it's scary to think that they're going to pass it on to generation after generation after generation. Whereas for me, not wearing makeup is one step to making myself feel more comfortable, feeling more at home in my body. If I go somewhere and I don't wear makeup, it's just kind of a step to building up my self-confidence and being okay with not wearing makeup and not feeling like I have to put on a face for other people. There are days when I am more anxious, and I probably do that to a certain extent, but there are days when I put it on because I want to put it on. There are days when I put it on because I want to put a face onto other people. You know, it's kind of a hard balance, but for the most part you need to be happy yourself with the amount of makeup you're wearing and be okay with wearing less at certain times, rather than if you ever had to go anywhere without any makeup for any reason, it would just cause a panic attack, because this is the skin you were born in. You need to be comfortable with it to a certain extent. I'll just try and get a little bit closer to the camera to show you me with no makeup. Because I actually tried to record this yesterday, this is just me that I've just got up. I'm in a lot of pain with my hips and my back, so I'm just trying to get this out so I can put it up and then I can just relax. Maybe I'll do another short one later if I have the energy for it. So I'm just going to show you a bit closer. I don't know if you can see me or not, but this is me with no makeup. I don't know if I need to get closer than that. Me with no makeup. Probably got bags and everything. Oh, that's hurting my hips. So I'm going to go back to the chair. The second thing that I've become more comfortable with over time, and in a way I feel like chronic illness in general has made me more comfortable with my body, or I spent a lot of time at home and a lot of time where I couldn't really look after my personal hygiene, has made me more comfortable with my body because I've come to accept it a lot more. So obviously a lot of people know when you have chronic illness you can struggle to shower. There's been a lot of times that my boyfriend's had to help me wash my hair, and kind of like like yesterday, I put up a little picture of me in the shower sitting down trying to wash my own hair, and then that was an accomplishment for me because it's something I haven't really been able to do for about the last month or so. I've had to have people help me wash my hair or not wash it at all, so the last week or so when I've been able to wash it myself, it's felt quite nice and quite empowering, which, you know, to able-bodied people or to people that don't have a chronic illness, that will seem ridiculous because that's just something second nature they take for granted. So in that vein, when it comes to shaving, I'm not in a big rush to shave. You know, I have hair on my legs, I have some hair under my armpits if you'd like to see. Don't know whether you can see it or not. Oh, it's hurting me to get up. Maybe I should stop doing that. And I've kind of stopped shaving as much. I don't feel the need to shave like I used to. I used to be very obsessed with shaving. I had two examples that I can remember of specific times when I was a child that people pointed body hair out to me like it was disgusting, and it really, really ingrained in my head that I need to be clean and I needed to be hair free. The first time I can remember was I was in a PE lesson when I was about 11 or 12, and I was told by a girl who was seemingly my friend, who just disclaimer, she ended up bullying me like 5 years later, so, you know, that advice was probably null and void and just, you know, a bitchy comment that she felt she needed to make. So she said, she saw hair on my legs and she said, you know, advise me to shave it off because it's something that people would bully me for or something that people would, you know, make fun of me for. So that night I went home, I shaved my legs, and I also shaved all my arms as well. I've had slightly thicker hair on my arms ever since because I didn't realise, being a naive person, that shaving your arms wasn't something that was really done and you was just meant to shave your legs. But how was I meant to know that as, you know, a 12-year-old girl? I had no idea. So it's probably one of the things that's one of the strongest impacts on my body confidence is allowing myself to have armpit hair, because now I'm actually okay with it. I can fully say that I'm okay with having armpit hair now, and I don't feel disgusting because of it, because there was a really long period of time where I was really, really obsessed with it, to the point it used to give me anxiety to have body hair. You know, I could just about manage to have leg hair because I'd kind of had reinforcement that, oh, you know, my legs were really soft. Like if I ever hadn't shaved, I'd had reinforcement from boyfriends that my legs were really soft anyway, that you couldn't really tell because my hair was fair. But because I'd had all this negative reinforcement about armpit hair, I was just obsessed with it, to the point, you know, I used to give myself razor burn trying to keep my armpits clean and hairless, because that's what somebody else wanted from me, which is ridiculous, and it's a stupid stereotype that women should have to shave their armpits, and it doesn't make you unclean. You know, as long as you're washing on a regular basis and you're kind of deodorising yourself, there's no reason why you would smell. So that's just a myth. Another thing that men have used to try and make us feel lesser than. So I'm happy that I've become a lot more comfortable with that area of my body. So moving on to the third part is weight. Now, I wouldn't be deemed fat by any stretch of the imagination. To most people, I'm a UK size 12, which is probably deemed as a kind of average size, which probably isn't realistic. You know, the average size is probably, you know, a size bigger, but, you know, that's what we deem the average size. So for me, this is a stone and a half heavier than I've ever been in my life. And in a way, although at the start when I started putting on weight, even people close to me were pointing it out in a negative way, pointing out how I'd put on weight on my stomach, pointing out how I'd got a bit heavier. And at the start, especially when I was going through a period of being anxious and depressed, I really took that personally. And I mean, over time, it's kind of at the same time as getting more okay with myself, I've kind of had these little comments coming in as well, and you just kind of have to bat them away. I've been watching a lot of kind of Kat Black and Megan Tonjes and people like this, you know, that are kind of body positive kind of people that kind of teach you to be okay in your own skin. So a lot of those kind of videos have kind of helped build up my self-esteem as well. Yeah, but it can be hard when people close to you are making these kind of comments, especially when it's on your weight and something that you can't really affect unless you know, really put your full effort into it. And if you're someone with a chronic illness and chronic disability, that's not something that you can do because you don't have the energy, you don't have the mobility. And even if you're not a disabled or a chronically ill person, why should you have to change and manage the size of your body in order to please someone else? Now, like I said, I'm a stone and a half heavier than I've ever been. I used to always be a size 8, and even when I was a size 8, people would tell me I was too skinny, I was tiny, look how small you are. It was always a psychological, you know, beat down. As much as people don't kind of put stock into these comments when they're saying them, when they're coming at them, they take them a lot more to heart. So having these comments said to me broke down my self-esteem even as a skinny person and someone who was deemed as slim and more desirable. There were still a lot of people close to me who were saying these comments that were just kind of throwaway comments to them, but to me it was like, you're skinny but you're too skinny, so you need to put weight on, but you need to maintain a certain weight, so you know, you need to stay thin. And realistically, I'm lucky because I had a fast metabolism, and my dad had a fast metabolism, and he'd always been skinny, that it maintained for me for a long time. Sorry, that's another alarm, I just couldn't go turn it off. I'm back. So yeah, like I said, because of my fast metabolism, it's something that maintained for me for a long time, and I didn't really have to worry about managing it. But realistically, if that wasn't the case, I could have very easily got an eating disorder. And there were times when, you know, I went through short periods where I would be very disengaged from food, and I, you know, would be very conscious of food. I wouldn't say that I'd ever had an eating disorder, but there were times when I would think about limiting food, and if it, luckily I'd kind of always had kind of a lot of positive reinforcement as well as negative reinforcement, so luckily I was able to keep it on an even keel to a certain extent. But this is so easy that I could have, you know, fallen into having an eating disorder, and so many young girls do end up with eating disorders because people close to them are telling them that they're not good enough and they're not worthy, whether they're skinny, whether they're fat, whether they're a size 8 or a size 18. People should be able to be happy in their own skin, and it really, really annoys me, frustrates me, upsets me when I hear people close to me, whether it be friends or family, body shaming other people, whether it's become bigger or smaller. We shouldn't be body shaming other people, and it's just disgusting. Like, you know, to point out somebody's cellulite, or to point out they're wearing too much makeup, or that they're too fat for the outfit they're wearing. That kind of behaviour disgusts me, because, and it's really hard when it's people close to you saying it, because there's an element of sympathy, and when it's other women there's an element of sympathy, because it's like, I feel bad for you because this is what's been ingrained into your mind, that you're disgusting, that you're not good enough, and that you need to tear some other woman down to make you feel a modicum of positiveness for your own body and to bring up your own self-esteem. You need to tear down someone else, or, you know, point the finger at someone else saying, well, they're a lot more unattractive than I am, well, they're disgusting, they've got cellulite, they're fatter than I am, they don't, you know, they've got too much makeup on, they haven't got enough on. As women, we don't need to tear each other down. We have enough people tearing us down. We have men tearing us down. We have society tearing us down. We don't need to be tearing each other down. It just doesn't need to happen. I can't say that, you know, it's human nature to judge, and I can't say I've never judged anyone, I've never said anything judgmental, but I am very conscious to not body shame other people, to not slut shame people, to go out of my way to be a positive person for other people, be a positive role model for other people. That it's not wrong to like yourself, it's not wrong to be happy in your body, whether, you know, whatever size you are, whether you're small, tall, you know, fat or skinny, whether you are able-bodied or disabled, whatever your, you know, the makeup of your body is, you know, your skin colour, that shouldn't make you feel any less attractive than anyone else, because you're beautiful as you are, and you're beautiful in your own way. And it just frustrates me and hurts me as a woman that we don't allow ourselves to see it very often. And people close to me, there's so many people close to me, or people that I've known in my life, that deep down are just so, you know, have been made to feel so insecure, and to not, you know, love their own bodies, and not think of themselves as worthy, or to not think that they're worthwhile people that don't have anything to offer, you know. And as women, we have so much more to talk about than diets, to talk about than the size of our body, to talk about than what some other girl's wearing. I don't care. What they do in their life does not affect me, you know. It doesn't, you know, even if there's a situation where someone's having a fallout with someone, I might say a couple of negative things towards their, you know, their being a bitch, or towards their personality, but I would never say, I would never go further than that. I'd be like, oh, I heard she's a right old whore, she sleeps around, or, oh yeah, she's a fat cow, because that has no relevance to anything, you know. Somebody's body shape, or how promiscuous they are, or, you know, sex positive they are, or how much body hair they have, that has nothing to do with anything. And the final point that I just wanted to make is kind of dealing with chronic illness, and how I feel chronic illness has affected my body image. Now, I went for a period where I was really, really depressed because of what was going on with my body. As I said, I've had a lot of gynae issues, and bladder issues, and bowel issues, and it's something that's been ongoing for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's still undiagnosed. And there was a period of time where I just felt really, really disgusting. I didn't feel womanly, I didn't feel sexual, I didn't feel like myself. I felt like I'd lost a part of myself. And I'm trying not to get choked up saying this, but it felt like I'd lost a part of myself, and I didn't feel very womanly, I didn't feel like a sexual being anymore. You know, I wasn't able to use my body in the same way I was using it before, and it just made me feel very disconnected, very embarrassed, humiliated, and it just didn't make me feel like somebody in my 20s. It just made me feel older, it just made me feel really kind of disconnected from my body. And I'm guessing, you know, I don't know what somebody else's experience is, but I'm guessing a lot of people with chronic illness or disability have this kind of feeling where you just feel disconnected from your body, and then you kind of can have people from the outside that are kind of making comments, and especially when you have a chronic or invisible illness, making comments on your body, or how your body's working, or, you know, your body worked a certain day, it doesn't work today, or I've had a lot of kind of implication over time, and probably a lot of other people have, that my mental health is having an effect on it. And do I think that it's psychological, or do I think it's stress based, or these kind of things? And I think I kind of understand that these things are coming from a good place, you know, like a place of caring, but those kind of comments make people feel like it's just like another thing to cut us down. It's like, you're bringing this on yourself, you're not really as ill as you say you are, you were fine the other day. These kind of comments, when you feel so disconnected from your body anyway, you know, I'm kind of at the start of the road at the moment, and it's really frustrating to say this, you know, 4 years into it, but really, to get to the root of my problems, I need to have a lot more investigations, I may need to have some kind of hospital treatment or something. down the line, and there's a lot of people that already deal with this on a daily basis, having to have kind of investigations and, you know, hospital treatments and things like this. I went for an investigation a little while ago, which was really invasive, you know, that I had to be hooked up to like a specialised toilet and stuff like that, you know, hooked up from both ends, and it was just really humiliating, you know. It's, like I said, especially when it's in an intimate area, and even anyway, to be that kind of vulnerable and feel that disconnected from your body is a horrible, horrible feeling. And when other people don't understand, or they try and make you feel bad for it, or they ask you these inane, stupid questions, you just need to try as much as possible to just block it out. Because like I said, regardless of your weight, your body hair, the amount of makeup you wear, you know, the abilities which your body has, people are always going to judge you, and it, you know, 95% of the time it's going to be negatively, and it's really hard, it's really frustrating sometimes, especially when it's people really close to you. But you need to try as much as you can to be strong and just let it go in one ear out the other, and like Jinx Monsoon from RuPaul's Drag Race used to say, water off a duck's back. You know, what somebody else does in their life and how they show their body, how they use their body, has absolutely nothing to do with me. Why should that have any impact on my life? So how I present my body, or use my body, or how my body works, that's my journey, and that affects me. That has no effect on you, and only possibly effect it could have on you, as someone who's viewing this, is that it may give you some kind of solidarity or some kind of inspiration to feel better about yourself, rather than letting other people cut you down. So in the weight section, I meant to show you my excess weight just to prove a point. I actually did this in a little Instagram video. If you want to follow me on Instagram at The Chronic Minimalist, I'm just going to show you a bit of my belly fat, and then I'm going to have to sit down because I don't think these hips are going to last for very long. So yeah. So I just wanted to make a point out of this to show you my excess body fat and the fat I've kind of been told to hide. I just want to I just wanted to highlight one little story just before I go. Like I said, people close to me do make some comments, and I went out for my mum's birthday on Sunday, and there was kind of a comment made because I wasn't wearing a bra, and my mum kind of went into this whole spiel of how I need to wear a bra, and how if I don't wear a bra it's really going to impact my self-esteem later on, and it's going to make me feel really disgusting and really worthless in my body. And I said to her, it's my body and my choice, and there was actually part of me that wanted to laugh, because I thought she doesn't realise how okay I am with my body now. It's like, it doesn't matter what you say to me. Yes, I'm still going to have off days, but I feel so much better in my own skin. And if not wearing a bra would make you feel uncomfortable or make someone else feel uncomfortable, that's fine, but I'm comfortable. There's nothing to prove that wearing a bra will stop my boobs from sagging. My boobs will naturally sag over time anyway. I'm not wearing a bra now, and I probably won't wear one for the rest of the day. I may not wear one for the rest of the week. It's my body, it's going to naturally drop anyway. My self-esteem and my positive body image is not based on whether my boobs drop. It's not based on whether I have body hair and other people can see it. It's based on how I feel about myself. And this seems to be the thing that people don't really seem to understand. You're in control of your own body image. You're in control of what people see. You're in control of how you see yourself. So I just want to give people a bit of a challenge today to just look at themselves naked in the mirror and to try and point out 3 things that they like about themselves, even if it's just one thing, and you can build yourself up through the week or the next couple of weeks to point out 3 things you like about yourself. Because you're beautiful as you are. You should accept yourself as you are, and don't let other people make you feel less than because you are, you know, a different skin colour, because you're disabled because you are plus size. Don't let somebody else make you feel shitty about yourself. You are in control of how you feel about yourself. And don't let somebody else take that away from you. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I'm sorry if I went on a bit of a rant there, but it's something I'm really passionate about, and I really hope that through this video that people can start to try and feel a bit more at home with themselves and a bit more in control of their own body image. So thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.